Hey guys, Tyro here, bringing you another 1v1 today. This one's between Lenny12346, playing as Soviet Union. Lenny's a strategist on COH2.org. Commonly see him using unusual Soviet Union strats, and accordingly you see his loadout has partisan tactics, guard motor coordination and urban defense. Lenny has been using a lot of tank hunter tactics recently, but that's not in his loadouts today. Do see some bulletins for the M42 anti-tank gun, and there you go, he picks urban defense, which has the M42 anti-tank gun, so I guess he's gonna try Fort Headquarters. Probably the best options for that on Kholodny Ferma are the church, this building here right outside your opponent's base, or this one up the top of the map. Those are really the only big buildings on this map. So yeah, church is a bit defensive for urban defense. Usually you want to put your Fort Headquarters quite far forward. But we'll see how Lenny plays it on this one. Anyway, Stern Tiger Ninja playing as Austere. He has elite troops, Jaeger armor and mechanized assault. Hasn't picked anything yet. And has gone for a machine gun second, which is a bit of a surprise, but we'll see how that plays out, the early machine gun. Lenny's got 3 squads of conscripts, and it looks like he could possibly be saving his manpower now for his Fort Headquarters. Need 300 manpower and 60 fuel for that. He's got it now. He may just have forgotten to upgrade it. No. He decided to build another conscript squad instead. Alright. Ninja is off to a bit of a defensive start here. He's just trying to make sure he can hold on to his fuel so far. Then he has gone and harassed his opponent's munitions point. Ninja has jumped his MG into the church, so it's going to give him good control over the center of the map. And it looks like in terms of Fort Headquarters, unless Lenny can unseat this MG42 from the church, his best bet may be this building at the top of the map.
We have taken it.
These are M42 anti-tank guns. They're decent against light vehicles like the flak half-track or the normal half-track. They're also quite good at knocking out OKW headquarters. They've got very long range. They don't do too well against medium or heavy tanks. In fact, they'll barely penetrate frontal armor of heavy tanks, but they do come very early on, 2 CPs, and usually urban defense you do see quite rapid increases in command points as they usually lend, the commander itself usually lends itself to a lot of early engagements, especially if the Fort Headquarters is located close to the opponent's base. But still no headquarters up 4 minutes into the game, which is a bit of a surprise. It may be because this MG42 jumped in the church and that's where Lenny wanted to put it. He does have control over this building and this building though, so both of them could have been options for the headquarters. Does he have Molotov's tips? Yes, he does. He may have been trying to get a Molotov off on the church there, but didn't quite manage to get in there. Got suppressed before it could do the job. And we do have a mortar here from Ninja now as well, and he selected elite troops. Allow him access to stun grenade. Smoke. G43s, and of course the dreaded Tiger Ace. And this building has already taken a bit of damage from the mortar. I doubt Lenny will want to use that as a Fort Headquarters building now. And that's a problem. In trying to unseat this MG42 from the church, he may do damage to the building, making it less viable as a Fort Headquarters base. Conscripts trying to engage at the front line. They haven't dropped many models. There they go. Just a couple of units from the troop. They do get a Molotov off onto the building. And those conscripts actually went down there. They dropped quickly. I'm surprised to see that. MG42 though goes down as well. All these LNG greens may go down to a swarm of conscripts. Well, not really a swarm, only 2 of them, but another Molotov dodged by Ninja. And Lenny has managed to cap most of the map. May try and plant a demo charge down here. It's always a sneaky spot, right outside your opponent's base. He needs to get behind the cover of this Rex tank. And he decides to retreat instead. And he's put down some sandbags here. Somehow he's building these sandbags whilst in the building here. I've never seen this happen before. What is that actually? I can't believe this. Sandbagging up this house here leads me to believe that he may be going for a more rear position for the Fort Headquarters. More like a rear headquarters, but you never know. Lenny, he's always up to some old trick. Because he hasn't put down any demo charges, I suggest mining up this road. It's always a good spot to mine up. Try to punish your opponent's tanks. Also this approach here, if they try and get ambitious without the sweeper clearing the way. I myself have run into many a mine down this road. And yes, he's putting down a whole heck of sandbags right here in the center of the map inside this building, leading me to believe that he will be putting Fort Headquarters down here. A rear Fort Headquarters isn't always a bad idea. What you can do is you can get a couple mortars in the AoE of the headquarters, getting the combat bonuses that it provides. 2 mortars firing with those combat bonuses can be quite deadly. And there it goes, he has got their Fort Headquarters up from that house, and he's putting up a million sandbags. He's covering this area with this MG42 though. It's actually in front of this haystack rather than behind it, so it won't be receiving any defensive bonuses there. Nope.
High Command has authorized converting civilian structures to field headquarters, Commander.
And he's got a whole mess of conscripts in true Lenny12346 fashion. Put a demo charge up on this church. It's a good plan, try and bait his opponent into there. Once he notices that Fort Headquarters is there, it's going to be a prime target to jump in that house to try and deal with it. Demo charge is already there and waiting. No tech structures from Lenny so far. Usually with the Fort Headquarters you try and tech up quickly with the vast amount of map control you gain from having the Fort Headquarters. Try rush out T70 or T3476 is the most common. See a half track on the field from Ninja now. His mortar's been doing alright damage, up to 3 kills. Not too far away from Vet 1. Grenadiers get chased off by 2 squads of conscripts. Looks like he may be planning on planting another demo charge down here somewhere. Another good thing with the Fort Headquarters is you can heal your troops at it. And so even having it at this location on the map is not too bad, because most of his infantry are going to have to run this direction anyway to get to where they want to go on the map. So that will save him the 250 manpower required for the healing at his base structure. Oh, this is a whole mess of conscripts scrapping it out for the centre. They hoorah, close the distance, get into the cover of this. Oh, Molotov goes off. Stun grenade goes off in return though. He needs to retreat that grenadier. He's trying to get up to the half track for reinforcements, but it's a bit too risky. Decides otherwise. Just seeing how low it got. Panzer grenadier is now here from Stern Tiger Ninja. Anti-tank grenade on the half track, and now Ninja's slowly starting to gather more of the map under his control. Do you see a demo charge anywhere? No, I thought that squad of common edges might have put down demo charge, but no luck. And we see the first M42 from Lenny. It's like he may try and do some damage with it against this half track. Ninja has had pretty decent fuel income so far, and accordingly he's ticking up to Battle Phase 2 or Tier 3 as it's currently known.
We are losing a sector.
Look at all these sandbags. Lady, what are you up to, mate? Conscripts try and get an 18 off on the half track with no success. Where'd that M42 get to? Sitting back here, you can see its range. It's got great range. It's pretty much the full length of the screen. Conscripts racing the top of the map. LMG greens with the half track support should take care of that. He's going to get an anti-tank grenade off on it, but probably won't matter. There are some pioneers here ready to repair it. Here he comes in for a second anti-tank grenade. And who will win here? Oh, these conscripts are doing heaps of damage. Stun grenades. And I think the reinforcement will outpace the damage the conscripts are doing now. Yep. Alternatively, oh, one more anti-tank grenade. Cool down quick enough. Will he be able to knock out the half track through small arms fire? No! And no! And the conscript squad gets wiped on retreat, just rubbing salt into Lenny12346's wounds. He's sending the M42 up, but there's no conscripts to support it. So that's a big blow to Lenny there. He lost a squad of conscripts, came oh so close to knocking out this half track with no luck. Engine damage, destroyed engine, and top gunner killed, so Stern Tiger Ninja got a bit lucky there, and Lenny came out the short end of the stick. Panzer Grenadiers decap Lenny's fuel. Oh, LMG Green's up to 15 kills. Oh, the M42 actually killed one of those Grenadiers. M42 is actually not that bad against infantry, honestly. However, he's not going to catch that half track. It has moved right back towards his base. Mortar continues to barrage away up to Vic 2, 11 kills. Has ran right into the line of fire of both these conscript squads though. Should be okay. And he's hoorahing in, trying to get Molotovs off on these support weapons. And Lenny's gone for tier 1. He's got a squad of penal troops out now. It's a bit of a surprise. I guess he's hoping to close the show here early. Usually with urban defense you will see tier 2. As I said, you can use the mortars with the headquarters quite effectively, and you generally need the ZIS for the anti-tank capabilities. You don't have any heavy tanks to deal with the Axis heavy tanks, and the M42, as I said earlier, is quite rubbish or have a hard time penetrating frontal armour of Axis tanks, especially things like the Panther and the Tiger, which we usually see these days.
Capture complete.
Lenny has had decent control of the map the last couple of minutes. However, now Ninja's team weapons are all reinforced and ready to inch their way forwards. Don't think he has any idea that the Fort headquarters is up here. He has seen the M42 though, so he does know that Lenny has gone for the Urban Defense Commandos. That's the only one that has the M42 available. And mechanized armor, so he's going for tier 4. Interesting, interesting, interesting. At the same time, got a Panzer IV rolling out for Ninja shortly. I wonder what Lenny will get to counter it. I have a feeling that he wants to get a Katyusha, but may have to get an SU-85. And certainly that is one of the more effective ways to deal with Axis heavy tanks.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Especially if you can force engagements here, the SU-85 can do quite well. Otherwise it has a bit of trouble on this map. A lot of allied forces at the top. Has a lot of trouble, there's a lot of shot blockers, and the SU-85 is so poor at manoeuvring around the map. Look at all these down here at the bottom. Can really have trouble. Generally makes it a lot easier for the tanks with their turrets to play on this map. Unless, as I said, you can force engagements through the centre, which is relatively open. And generally a lot of engagements do happen on the centre, as you often want to cap two VPs next to each other. That way you can quickly move from one to the other, rather than if you have one at the top of the map and one at the bottom. If your opponent attacks one of them, you either have to split your forces in half to try and cover them both, or you'll have to move your troops en masse from one to the other, making it just generally a large waste of time. And he has indeed gone for the SU-85. Still has enough fuel in the back for a Katyusha though. Once he has the manpower, I hope that's what he gets. I always like seeing a Katyusha. He's got 2 squads of penal troops. No flamethrower upgrades however. Oh, and that was a booby trap. Doesn't quite wipe out that squad. Another booby trap down here on this anti-tank grenade bricks on the front of the Panzer IV. Booby trap is very good at wiping squads. Probably does it about 70% of the time. Similar to the demo charge in that respect. It does cost 10 more than the demo charge. However, doesn't require engineers to put it down, so you can get it down a lot easier. Tower mine down here actually for Ninja. May try and bait this Su-85 through there. Panzerfaust on the rear of the Su-85. Luckily there's some engineers up there to repair it. Su-85 does heaps of damage to the Panzer IV. And there's a big push from all of Lenny's infantry trying to knock out this Pack 40.
We are losing Soldaten.
I think Lenny may have baited a squad onto their booby trap here and knocked it out with his conscripts,
Enemy is taking our territory.
whilst Ninja was still busy microing his stuff up here at the top.
We are losing a sector. That's it. Fully reinforced. He's dead.
Pack loaded for panther hunting.
Grenadiers reporting objective captured.
Everybody's just reloading, and indeed Lenny is going for a Katyusha. He's got one building up in production. Ninja is going for another Panzer IV.
It's done.
Oh, booby trap wipes the squad there. Su-85 just chilling out. Chishka's moving into position to fire. Lenny does have a large population advantage. Nearly 20 more in his army size. Going for this MG. And Ninja manages to largely evade it. Half track will be able to reinforce it on the front line. Looks like Panzer IV is trying to make a play to get to the rear of the Su-85. May wait for his second Panzer IV to get in position before he does this. Right, he's moving it right into his opponent's base for some reason. Maybe anti-tank grenaded. Lenny Uras try and close the distance. The Su-85 fires on its rear armor, misses. And it should get away to safety. Always a bit risky to send your tanks down here by themselves, as this is a very common place to put mines. There's lots of good little tight corners that pretty much guaranteed for troops to run over mines. So if you're facing Soviet, you really want to sweep that area first. It does have some sweepers down there, but I think they're a bit too far away. A bit too far away for the area of effect. M42 gets a shot off on the Panzer IV. Su-85 does a nice damage. Could wipe the Panzer IV. Oh, and it does. Bit of miss micro there from Ninja. If he had moved it around this direction, tried to get it behind the house, I think he probably could have gotten away then, but instead he moved it up directly in this way, pretty much playing right to the Su-85's strengths. Got good range. You can chase in a straight line quite effectively. And now the Su-85 is knocking out all of his sandbags that he built. Katyusha is cooled down, I guess. Yep, ready to fire another round. In comes Panzer IV trying to get around to the side. Does he get off this demo charge here? Yep, and he does so. Smoke on the Panzer IV to escape. SU-85 fires into the smoke and misses. Ooh. Panzer Grenadiers chase off these conscripts. Incendiary barrage on the center VP, but it's not going to hit much. Katyusha firing on these two team weapons here. Look at that scatter though. Katyusha's reasonably close up, but it's just not hitting anything. I think it might have knocked 2 models off that pack. Didn't do anything to the mortar.
Grenadier squad at full strength. Fire!
You have orders? We have a new SU-85 to deploy.
Lenny still has a large army size advantage. Doing target ninjas almost at the required amount of CPs to get the target ace, so you would have to save up to 800 manpower,
Incendiary artillery is now available.
which would take him about 3 minutes at the current rate, allowing for a slight amount of reinforcement. Got a second SU-85 from Lenny, so he's quite well defended against Ninja's tanks. Has managed to cap the top VP with this lone squad of penal troops. Looks like he's going to try and harass his opponent's fuel now with that same squad. Yes, my field down here. It's kind of not really expecting anything to hit those ones down there though. No, penal troops move out of the capping circle there. Probably going to get chased off by these LNG greens. These ones are trying to cap the top VP.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
He died for the good of the Soviet Union.
That said, surprisingly, despite having urban defense, Lenny is in a bit of a hole VPs wise. You can see that Ninja is up to, well, still has 400, Lenny's down to 150. So certainly Ninja could afford to wait a bit, stock up a bit more manpower, maybe save up for the King, or Tiger Ace. Oh, and once again he's left his Panzer IV in firing range of these SU-85s. Whoa! Half-track takes heaps of damage from the Katyusha, may get knocked out. Gets knocked out by the SU-85 in fact. These SU-85s are doing some good work here for Lenny. Still got a large VP disadvantage to overcome. And it looks like Ninja is indeed trying to save up for the Tiger Ace. He still has about 180 fuel in the bank, so he will be able to keep a get another tank out even after his fuel income gets reduced to almost zero. It reduces the fuel by 9%, manpower by 25%. But he really does need some kind of unit to make some shock impact against Lenny's entrenched position. So the Tiger Ace is in need. He just can't get the job done with his Panzer IVs. Could also have considered ticking up, maybe getting a Panzer for Lenny. Does seem to be playing quite statically in the center. with these team weapons and conscripts.
Our sector.
And in comes the Tiger Ace, deploys it to the bottom, try and chase off these conscript squads down here. Let's hope he doesn't expose its rear armour. Oh, nasty first hit, almost wipes out the conscript squad instantly. Rifle grenade on these conscripts. And they will have to retreat. Tiger Ace is charging straight down the middle here. Not sure that was a good idea. Oh, and one of the anti-tank grenades managed to penetrate its frontal armour. Now Lenny's trying to shoot through the trees. Gets a good shot off there.
We have lost an MG team.
I don't know how Lenny's sight here. He's giving him sight. What was giving Lenny line of sight there? I just I don't know.
One of our panzers has been destroyed.
Well, there goes the Tiger Ace, and with that, Stern Tiger Ninjas in a hell of a lot of trouble. You really shouldn't have moved it up here right down the front. This is what I was saying right at the beginning of the match. The SU-85s can be quite effective if you play with them through the centre. And Ninja played right into his opponent's strength, moving into the centre. He did well at the beginning, chasing off these conscript squads on the flank. But then moved into the centre, played right into his opponent's strengths, and lost it accordingly. I still don't know how Lenny had line of sight on that Tiger Ace. But maybe there was actually a crawler down here. Maybe one of these conscripts was a crawler, and that gave him line of sight. That's what I can think of actually, and that probably was the case. If you don't know, sometimes when your troops die, they actually just crawl along the ground for a long time, and that does grant you a bit of sight in that area. Ninja still has quite a lot of VPs in the bank. He could tick up to a final tier and maybe go for a Panther. He has enough fuel in the bank to attempt something like that if he just stalls, holds on to one VP for a while. Oh, Katyusha clears the pack though. Lenny's ability to close the show is a bit limited. Using tier 4 you can't really push aggressively. You don't have any tanks to push with. You just have to sit back and wait for the Katyusha, and he's gone for 2 Katyushas. Well, there you go, he should be able to do very well against Ninja's team weapons now. And that will make going for tier 4 very hard for Ninja. He'll just take far too many losses during that period of time. But Ninja is floating a lot, and I don't know what his plan is here. I suppose he could be saving for Panzer 4.
Territory secured.
Really though, I think Ninja needs to play a bit more laterally this game. Seem to be a bit too interested in playing with his tanks in the centre of the map against the SU-85s. He has been reasonably good with his minesweepers though. Oh. Katyusha is clearing out infantry again. Another Panzer 4 is in production. And though he did have the minesweeper out, he didn't account for a conscript squad to be hiding right behind this bush to do a similar job. And now the SU-85 should be able to knock out this Panzer 4, and that could be the game. No, they try and fire through the trees, don't have any luck. And this is what I was saying about Kholodny Ferma. a lot of shot blockers, and this is why the Su-85 can have trouble fighting anywhere but the center of the map. Not very maneuverable.
Panzer 4 is ready for battle.
Perhaps Lenny could have sent his M42 to try and clean it up as it retreats this way, but I suppose he thought Ninja would have retreated in this direction, which is a fair assumption. I'm surprised that the conscripts didn't see that, to be honest, but that's alright. You could choose shift and over somewhere. Oh, it's down here. Doesn't seem to hit anything though. This one's been on the field for a while, it's up to 14 kills, this one's only got 2. At this stage, honestly, Ninja could just try mass infantry. Then he has a lot of population tied up in tank destroyers, and they're largely ineffective against infantry. And there we go. Anti-tank grenade on the Panzer 4, getting chased by Su-85. Ninja decides to pack it in there. Then he also got another fort headquarters on this building up here. Anyway, that was interesting use of tactics there from Lenny. Using Tier 1 in conjunction with a rather defensive forward headquarters. Seemed to work out alright. At no point did his opponent try and push it. A bit too far away for Ninja's mortars to fire on as well. And some good use of the Su-85s from Lenny. Managed to force his opponent into engaging through his centre time and time again, where he came off
We are ready for action.
with the wind time and time again. Ninja really needed to avoid the centre with the tank destroyers and play on the flanks with his more manoeuvrable tanks, hiding behind these line of sight blockers and these shot blockers, and play that way. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. If you want your replay to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. And with that, I'll bid you farewell.